What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the market report for June 2024. Now this one's coming in a little bit late. This has been a crazy month for me between coaching all-stars and opening an indoor hitting facility over here in Visalia. It's just been a wild month, so I've actually had this data for a while. I just haven't been able to make the video until now, so I'm going to try and get this out before the month ends at least. But I apologize for getting this information out to you guys so late. So let's go ahead and dive right in now. We've waited long enough. The average sale price in May was $397,457. This was a slight decline from last month, but we saw a huge increase last month, so it's not too surprising. A lot of times when you see a big jump, you'll see a minor pullback following that. Now this doesn't mean that we'll continue pulling back this month, right? Right here we saw a jump, a pullback, and then a jump. So we may see it jump again this month. We may not. Honestly, buyer activity has been kind of hit and miss this year. It's come on. There've been phases where the buyer activity has been up, and then there's been kind of dead times depending on what's going on with the Fed and the stock market politically. Like, there's just so much going on in 2024 that I think the market isn't really sure what it wants to do quite yet. But looking at the last 3 years, a year ago we were at 375,000. 2 years ago, back up at 393,000, and 3 years ago we were at $347,000 as our average sale price. So if you look from this year to 2 years ago, right about where we were then. Coming out of the pandemic, this was the absolute peak of the market, and we've slowly worked our way back up to the peak after a nice little drop off heading into 2023. Price per square foot fell again also. As we mentioned last month, price per square foot spiked huge last month, even over all-time highs, which were $230 before that. It spiked up to like $237 or something like that. This fell back to $226 per square foot here in May. New listings, 348 new listings in May. This is a slight decline from last month, but still significantly better than what we've seen all of 2023. So this is good news. We need more inventory on the market, and it's going to help as buyer activity starts to increase. Looking at the last 3 years, 348 this year, 322 last year, 407, and 379 as we go back. Again, last year was very, very low. We weren't seeing a lot of listings. We weren't seeing a lot of buyer activity. Everything was a little bit slow, and things are starting to spike back up here this year. This kind of feels like a more normal year for real estate. So homes for sale, 565 in May. This has been slowly increasing since about February, and hopefully will continue to increase, and we can get a decent amount of inventory on the market. Pending sales fell again in May. We saw a nice spike in April along with average sale price, but typically, again, as we see a huge spike, a lot of times you'll see a pullback follow that. Again, buyer activity has been coming and going in phases. So what this tells us is not a lot of properties entered contract in May. That doesn't necessarily mean that fewer properties closed in May. We're going to find that out right now. As you can see, the inverse happened with closings. So many properties went into contract in April, for example, and then closed in May, whereas fewer entered contract in May. So probably in June, we're going to see closed sales drop off, again, to reflect what we're seeing in pending sales right now. So in summary, the average sale price fell back a bit to $397,457. Home prices often spike during the spring and early summer, but that doesn't always continue throughout the summer. So this month we might see another spike, and we might see it continue to pull back. I honestly don't know, and if you asked me to bet, I'm not sure that I could. Price per square foot also fell back down to $226 per square foot in May. That's dropping back below the previous all-time high of $230 per square foot in June of 2023, after we actually eclipsed that amount last month. New listings continue to hold strong with 348 new Tulare County properties hitting the market in May. And again, this should continue to keep the market moving into the summer, and hopefully we continue to see more inventory coming onto the market. Pending sales decreased while closed sales increased in May. This suggests that last month's pending properties are closing now, but fewer buyers are going into contract in May, so we're likely to see fewer closings in June. The number of homes for sale is slowly increasing with 565 homes available in Tulare County right now. However, 348 of those were new listings in May, so homes are still selling fairly quickly. Now, if you're considering selling your home in this market, there's not a ton of activity like we saw in the last few years, and there's not a ton of inventory either. So if you price your home properly, you're likely to sell it quickly. I have a listing that's been on the market for a couple months now. We've slowly been decreasing price as the market's kind of trickled down, and we've kind of been playing that pricing game. We've got another listing where we started a little bit low, probably $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 low, and ended up getting $11,000 over asking price and selling very quickly. So again, it kind of depends on your motivation, whether you want to sell quickly or whether you're trying to squeeze every last drop out of your equity. Those are the kind of the priorities and the motivations that we need to discuss as a client and agent. But if you're really planning to sell your home quickly and you don't want to deal with the stress of sitting on the market for months, you really need to price it properly, especially in this market. If you guys have any questions or you want a copy of my seller's guide, please let me know. I'd be happy to get that to you. And other than that, I will see you guys next month. Take care.
Are you having a hard time selling your property or just stressed for time to do it? Won't you contact David Haun at www.meetdavidhaun.com. With 100 plus happy clients, closed deals over 4 years in the business, MBA in digital marketing, and 5-star Google and great client experience. With the skills to compete with anyone in any presentation exposure, beautiful photography, aerials, 4K videos, interactive virtual tours, and even neighborhood spotlights, they'll be used to present property. With professional cleaning on every listing paid by David Haun. Our marketing is very focused on online experience. David provides a Matterport virtual walkthrough on each listing. With the number of buyers we are seeing from the metro areas of California, it's a huge benefit for them to be able to see the house in much detail. Everything is placed on a landing page. That's the hub of all the social media posts, paid ads, circle calls, emails, and text codes that's on the side, which enables David to help you capture leads without any contact. With paid social media ads, David Haun can target anyone who has been on Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com within the last 90 days. With everything I can provide, be assured that 10,000 plus active local buyers see your property within the first week. Don't believe me? Check out my testimonies at www.reviewdavidhaun.com.